Hey, it's Brett. Thanks for dropping by my channel. Or if you're returning, thank you for coming back. So, wanted to talk about June TBR, what I'd like to read, what I have kind of prioritized right now. Certainly, the 8 books that I'm going to talk about are not everything I want to read, but they are things that I'm giving some priority to. So, let's go. All right, as you all know, or maybe don't know if it's your first time, I always like to start with my videos with what I'm currently reading. And on my last video, I talked about Claire Lombardo's Same As It Ever Was, and I'm still in it. It's huge, so I'm going to be with it a while. And not to be outdone with the big books, I decided to also start to dive into Lev Grossman's The Bright Sword, which is clocking in at over 700 pages. As you can see, I've tabbed this already because I'm giving myself 25 pages a day, which is totally manageable, totally bite-sized morsels, and if I decide I want to go further with it, I will. This is Lev Grossman, who wrote the Magician's Trilogy, which I absolutely loved. This is his take on King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. I'm only 50 pages in because I've only been reading for 2 days, but really, 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 really enjoying this and can't wait to see where it goes. So the one other thing that I've been reading, I started yesterday and I'm going to finish today. This comes out in July, which is Evening and Weekends by, I believe it's Oisín McKenna. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. And thank you to Mariner Books for this. This is set in 2018 in London about a group of friends, lovers. It's really good. I don't really want to say anything about it until I do a wrap up at the end of the month, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying seeing how all these people are kind of tied together. It takes place over 3 days during a heat wave in London. So I'll let you know more at the end of the month. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 books. 8 books I'm going to talk about. The first is The Stardust Grail by Yumi Kitasei. Yumi Kitasei wrote this book that came out, I think, 2 years ago called The Deep Sky, which was a really terrific sci-fi novel. This one sounds equally as good. It says, Maya Hoshimoto was once the best art thief in the galaxy until a disastrous job forced her into hiding. Now she just wants to enjoy a quiet life as a graduate student of anthropology, but she's haunted by persistent and disturbing visions of the future. Okay, so that's just the beginning of this. What it's being pitched as is Indiana Jones in space, which sounds totally fun. I'm also loving the octopus motif that's going on here. Another beautiful cover. So excited about that one. Thank you to Flatiron Books, and this comes out June 11th. Okay, so I talked in my last video, my May wrap-up, of how much I absolutely flipped out over Edinburgh by Alexander Chee. Well, I'm going back to Chee this month with How to Write an Autobiographical Novel, and I know some of you had commented below about how wonderful this was. So Katie Lee writes over to Instagram, and I will put the link there to her page below in her ongoing read Asian historical novels or backlist novels. I'm getting the name somewhat incorrect, but anyway, this is what one of her June reads is going to be, so I'm so excited. And if you're on Instagram and that is of interest to you, like I said, go to the link below. She'll have it on her page and you could join in. So really excited about this. Headhot by Rita Bullwinkel. I don't know a ton about this, although I know it's gotten incredible reviews. My In Real Life Book Club is doing it this month, so I have to read this later in the week. But to tell you about it, I don't know. Aside from all I know is it's about women, female boxers. I'll tell you more after I read it, but this was an early galley, and so I don't even have a description of the book. But thank you to Viking for this, and I will give you a full description at the end of the month. All right. Change by Édouard Louis. This is the follow-up to his autobiographical book, The End of Eddie, going into his adulthood. And if any of you read The End of Eddie, it was a kind of very bleak story about a working class family and the boy in it who is gay. So anyway, this is kind of what he leaves behind, how he continues in his life. It's getting great reviews, and I'm really excited to read it. And it's Pride, so obviously I'm trying to center some of my reading around Pride books. Speaking of that, The Future Was Color by Patrick Nathan. I've never read any Patrick Nathan before. I love this kind of colorized old Polaroid-looking photo. It says, Nathan's gripping historical novel reminds us of the power of art in the face of cruel and an uncaring world. This is a fiercely intelligent and serious moral work that every artist should read. So I know nothing about it, but I'm going in. All right. Also, sticking with Pride selections, Henry by Alan Bratton. It's London, 2014, and Hal Lancaster, son and heir of Henry, Duke of Lancaster, is in a holding pattern. His mother is dead, his father is dying or remarrying or both. His siblings are fighting, his internship is pointless, and nobody will leave him alone. Everything is as it should be, and yet nothing is right. Over the course of a year of partying, drinking, and flirting to dubious consequence, Hal is tested by brutal family legacies, Catholic guilt, and the terrifying possibility of being loved. The House of Lancaster will never be the same. Crackling with intelligence and wit, Henry is a brilliant recasting of the Henriade in which Hal Lancaster is a queer protagonist for a new era. Alan Bratton arrives as a successor to Waugh, to St. Aubin, and with this lush, stylish novel of family legacy and what it means to be alive today. I love this cover. I think it's, really just beautiful. So, and thank you to Unnamed Press for this copy. All right. Hall of Mirrors by John Copenhaver. This just came out this week. This is the second book in the series. I didn't read the first, but from what I understand, you don't need to have read the first to read this one. When a popular mystery novelist dies suspiciously, his writing partner must untangle the author's connection to a serial killer in award-winning John Copenhaver's new novel set in 1950s McCarthy-era Washington, D.C. Love this cover. I think it looks great. So thank you to Pegasus Crime and to John Copenhaver for this one. We'll see. And then my last book that I'm going to try to get to this month is Sapphire Dawn by Christopher Rice, or C.Travis Rice. This is part of his Sapphire Cove series, which are kind of male-for-male romances that take place at this very posh resort, and I believe like Santa Barbara or San Diego, one of the sands. So I'm interested to read this. Chris will also be coming on here with me to discuss this and the series in the next 2 weeks. So look for that. So I'm excited about that. All right, that's it. Just to give you a hint of what I'm going to try to get through. Obviously, I hope to cover more, but that's the stuff that I'm prioritizing. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a good week, and I will see you all soon. Thanks.